What's up everyone, this is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Halloween Cup, and in today's video, man, I'm using kind of an out there team for me. I'm running Qwilfish, FROSLASS as the safe swap, which this video is kind of going to be talking about FROSLASS's play within the Halloween Cup, and then Crustle in the back. Now FROSLASS is on its own a really solid Pokemon. In this Halloween Cup, it does have a lot of weaknesses that you need to look out for. You're going to be weak to dark types, you're going to be weak to those rock types, you're going to be weak to fire types. So there is a lot of things that you need to look out for. You're also going to be weak to ghost type damage, but I find that if you do want to use FROSLASS on your team and kind of mix it up a little bit, use some different Pokemon there, I think it does function best in the safe swap position. Reason being, if you can get an energy advantage, most likely in that secondary matchup, regardless of what your opponent brings in, they will have to commit a shield. With the moveset of Avalanche and Shadow Ball as the charge moves on FROSLASS, FROSLASS already hits for a lot of damage, and so typically your opponent's going to have to shield if they do want to maintain switch. Obviously FROSLASS is fairly glassy, but even against some of its worst matchups like Alolan Muk or Skuntank or Alolan Marowak, you're going to be able to draw a shield because either Avalanche or Shadow Ball is going to be hidden for a lot of damage in those matchups. Qwilfish, I think, is really strong. You can run this in the lead. I've also found Qwilfish works to be a decent safe swap in this cup as well. And then Crustle, as we know, is one of the kind of staple meta Pokemon within this Halloween Cup. And all these battles were done around like the mid 3100 range, so using some spice here in the upper rating ranges to kind of see what happens. This is obviously a really favorable lead. Out comes Tentacruel, and I'm actually going to bring out FROSLASS on this. Obviously FROSLASS is going to be able to easily outpace Tentacruel to its big move of Hydro Pump. Now I really don't want to get Hydro Pumped here. Even if they bait me, doesn't really matter. They do go for the Hydro Pump, and I think I make a pretty huge misplay right here. At this point in time, I wasn't really comfortable with the fast move counts on Tentacruel, so that was clearly going to be an Acid Spray, and big mistake on my part shielding it up. I was worried that they were going to get to another Hydro Pump. As you can see though, even though my defense has been dropped here, I'm going to be able to get some shields back, or this Crustle is just going to get destroyed here. So they actually totally sacked the Crustle, and in the back is a Toxicroak. So this is really bad for me. Honestly, I just need to do as much damage here as possible. The unfortunate thing is that my opponent can just double shield and then throw back-to-back Mud Bombs onto my Qwilfish. So kind of puts me in a tricky scenario there, but we'll kind of see what happens here. This is not good at all. And my switch clock is not up, so unfortunately I'm going to get hit by this Mud Bomb, and they're also very close to another one. I just need to get off this Aqua Tail, but my FROSLASS is still too low in health that this is just not going to work out. Looks like they were either lagging or trying to flex a little bit there, but they definitely have that Toxicroak in the back. Not super great. The reason I'm running with FROSLASS and Crustle in the back here is because both of them have play against the grass types, which Qwilfish does not want to see. Same with against Galvantula. FROSLASS and Crustle both have some play there. So this matchup against Alolan Muk is kind of interesting. Alolan Muk is getting to these Dark Pulses around the same pace that Qwilfish is getting to the Aqua Tails. And obviously Dark Pulse hits for a lot more damage than Aqua Tail, but the water gun damage is really adding up. So this is one of those scenarios where I will be down a shield. Out comes Crustle, or yeah, out comes their Galvantula. So I use FROSLASS as a safe swap to not get farmed down, and then they have their own Crustle in the back. Look how much damage Avalanche does. That's pretty respectable for sure. I'm really hoping that I can water gun this thing down before it gets their charge move, but I know it's going to be able to get there. I know they still have Galvantula, so I'm forced to just tank this. It does so much damage. Galvantula is going to be able to come out and farm me down. And then luckily I do have my own Crustle in the back. And so the fast moves are going to be able to take out this Galvantula. All I got to do is just shield up whatever this is and get 2 more smackdowns to go through, and I'm able to take it out there. Good game. Qwilfish into Kanto Muk. So this thing does learn Poison Jab. It also learns Thunder Punch as the charge move and Dark Pulse. Also like Sludge Wave, but typically people run Thunder Punch and Dark Pulse as the moveset. Now, it is a Shadow Shiny Kanto Muk. So I was like scared of the damage on the Thunder Punch there. Was really hoping that I'd be able to Powder Snow that thing down before it got to another charge move, but it switched out. I know it has some stored energy. I'm not quite sure if it still has a Thunder Punch loaded. But out comes Azumarill, and because they were so slow to the swap, I'm just going straight Shadow Ball here. This is going to do a lot of damage if it lands. Does about 50% damage to Azumarill, which is awesome. They go for the Ice Beam, which does not take me out. Play Rough would have been enough. Obviously, they're getting a nice farm here, but they have to shield this, or this Shadow Ball is going to take them out. Because FROSLASS outpaces Azumarill pretty nicely. At this point, Qwilfish is going to be a very solid response to absorb all this damage from the Azumarill. So they were running Play Rough. At this point, I think I just let this go. But it's just enough to take me out, unfortunately. But I'm going to farm down with Crustle. They have their own Qwilfish in the back. So double water. They were running Muk in the lead and then double water in the back. Kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I think this Rock Slide is just barely not going to be enough, but I'm able to fast move it down. The Azumarill is low in health. The Muk gets taken out by one smackdown because it's Shadow, and then I'm able to smack down the Azumarill. That was very close at the end there. Good game. Qwilfish and the Galvantula, this is terrible. So I'm just going to insta-swap the FROSLASS. Okay, out comes Alolan Marowak. Oh man, and I'm too slow to throw a move here, which is really unfortunate. If I would have shielded up this Bone Club, I would have been able to get to 2 Shadow Balls, as you will see. I'm going to be barely short here. Yeah, really unfortunate. Could have committed a shield there. I know I was going to get farmed down anyways, but I would have been able to drop both shields, so that was definitely a mistake on my part. So obviously Shadow Ball really hurts. But I'm just going for these Aqua Tails here. And then I know they still have the Galvantula, so I'm really hoping that a double shielded Crustle will be able to sweep the back line. But it's probably an Azumarill in the back. They're throwing energy here. I have to shield this. I know it's a lunge, and it's going to drop my attack, which is not great. It is an Azumarill in the back. I would consider that to be one of the most common lines. Is the combination of Galvantula, Azumarill, and Alolan Marowak. I think that trio is very, very strong. I would say like the 4 strongest Pokemon in Halloween Cup would be Azumarill, Crustle, Alolan Marowak, and Galvantula, and they're also the most common that I tend to see. You can kind of pair them with any pairing there, and they all serve a really good purpose there. I'm able to get to this Aqua Tail, which is nice, but Galvantula is going to come out and farm me down. I need to get to this Rock Slide, or any move really. And I think this X Scissor is just barely not enough, because I wasn't going to get to the Rock Slide. Oh my gosh, I win that with a sliver of HP. That was a crazy conclusion there. Good game. Qwilfish into Sharpedo. Shadow Sharpedo is a lot of fun. I actually gave it a try as in the safe swap position. I might be able to clip some battles from that. I was doing it on my Twitch live stream. It's a lot of fun. These waterfalls do so much damage. Sharpedo learns Poison Fang and Crunch. So I shield that up. Since my opponent shielded, I decided I might as well mirror their shields and just see what happens. They let it go. I'm going to get farmed by Galvantula. In the back is Alolan Marowak, so at this point I know that all I need to do is save my shield for Crustle, and I'm going to be able to win this game. The Shadow Ball does get shielded. Really good counting on my opponent's part, but there's no point in shielding this. I'm going to save the shield for Crustle, and it should be able to clean this up. Obviously, the Shadow Ball is going to hurt. A lunge from Galvantula is going to hurt, but I really need to commit to the farm down here, because I need to be able to Rock Slide that Galvantula. I'm assuming that this is just a Bone Club. It is. Galvantula comes back in. I see the typings in the top right, so I'm able to insta-throw this. I figured that they were going to swap. They do. They get one-shotted, and then I'm able to smack down the Marowak there. Good game. Qwilfish into Azu. In theory, this is favorable for Quillfish because you resist all of Azu's charge moves. However, you do have to land the Sludge Wave. The opponent switches out right there, which is kind of an odd place to swap. I'm most likely going to bring in Crustle on this, but I think I play this terribly. Oh, okay. I'm actually going to throw this X-Scissor to see if they want to shield here. They do, because they stored up a lot of energy. It's worth it to commit one shield here. Gonna have to shield up one of these. So I do shield up that. Thank goodness. I was thinking, man, do I let that go? Oh my gosh, it's a Tyranitar in the back. So this is, oh man, this is not good at all. Luckily they let that through, but my FROSLASS is really gonna have to. Okay, they go for the combo play with their Azumarill, which is fine by me. They're dumping energy here. I need to get my FROSLASS onto this Azumarill. So you're gonna see just how much damage these Shadow Balls do. Obviously, Azumarill was already starting this with a good amount of residual energy, but FROSLASS is able to get to these these Shadow Balls fairly fast. Powder Snow is pretty good with its energy generation, and the damage has recently been buffed. So I say recently, but it's probably been like over a month now. It still feels recent because we spent so much time with the previous version of Powder Snow. So I'm really glad that they're taking me out here. They actually intentionally undercharged that. I knew they were going to switch to the Tyranitar right away, so I insta-swapped to predict their move, and it was correct. And the Aqua Tail is able to take out that Azumarill. Good game there. Alright, Quillfish into Marowak. This is a really good lead, but Crustle also handles this. So they safe swap into Azumarill. There's really no need for me to get out of here because I have Crustle to be able to handle that Alola Marowak. But what I might end up doing is bringing in FROSLASS onto this once it's around half health. Okay, I'm actually going to bring it in now. That's still kind of an awkward health range to deal with here. And I need to get rid of this Azumarill because Crustle really doesn't want to see it. I will shield this up. I think I get baited though. Okay, that was a good shield. At this point, Azumarill is in Avalanche range. So I'm farming up a lot here. Gonna throw the Avalanche. This will be enough to take it out. I'm predicting Alolan Marowak to come back in, but I have enough residual energy to potentially get to this Shadow Ball. Yep. They probably shield once and fully commit to the farm down, which is a really good play on their part because it puts me in a tough spot there. So I'm actually going to aggressively switch in Quillfish here so I don't get farmed. But then I let it go because I wanted the Alolan Marowak to dump its energy. I think this is where they have, do they have a Toxicroak in the back or something? I feel like if I remember correctly, I lose this. Yeah, I shield that up. It's a Quillfish in the back, and unfortunately, my shields are gone, and they're able to get to this Aqua Tail, which barely knocks me out. If I would have been able to land that Rock Slide, it would have been a different game, but, ooh, very tough. Good game there to my opponent. Going up against K-Brag 90 here. Quillfish into Beedrill. This is a pretty good matchup for me. Obviously, you need to look out for the Drill Run, but these Water Guns are hitting for neutral, while Beedrill is hitting for resisted poison jabs. Now, I think how the math works here is that it takes 7 poison jabs for the Beedrill to get to the first Drill Run, and then 6. And so the Beedrill like barely outpaces the Quillfish, because as you can see, I actually got hit by 2 Drill Runs there. Really not good, but I'm going to bring out Crustle to farm this down. They switch into Azumarill. I have to put FROSLASS on this, which is not good at all. If this is play rough, it's really going to hurt. So I shield it up. I'm trying to time my throwing of the Shadow Ball to not let them get another bubble through. I'm trying to do the fast move denial technique, which if you guys haven't checked out Wallower's video on that, just search up Wallower, W-A-L-L-O-W-E-R, and it's called Fast Move Denial. It's like in his advanced PvP mechanics, and he kind of explains how to do this fast move denial technique, which I'm still working on, and it seems to be kind of inconsistent for me, but that might be because I'm messing it up. But so I store an Avalanche, I switch into Crustle to absorb this Night Slash. The conclusion to this game is actually pretty wild here, if I remember correctly. So Obstagoon is not good for my back line here, but I'm able to land that X-Scissor. And then unfortunately, the Obstagoon gets the boost right there, which doesn't allow me to get to another smackdown and allows them to farm me down. So they won because of the boost. Never ever feels good when that happens, but good game. Quillfish into Venusaur. This is terrible, so I'm gonna safe swap FROSLASS right off the bat. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. But Avalanche honestly would probably one-shot this Tyranitar if they don't shield it. So I get a shield. I'm already up in shields. That's really great. The problem is this Tyranitar with loaded energy is still going to put a lot of pressure on my Quillfish. I have to shield whatever this is. If they get to 2 moves, I'm in a terrible spot. Thank goodness. So I really need to get to this Sludge Wave against Venusaur because my switch clock is not up. So I'm able to get there. If this connects, I'm still looking pretty good. I'm not looking good at all. I have Crustle in the back. This Frenzy Plant is going to hit for neutral, but do so much damage. Probably should have shielded that up. But this is, oh, it's a Sableye in the back. Both X-Scissor and Rock Slide hit for neutral, so I should have went for Rock Slide here. Big mistake on my part. Yeah, really needed to go for Rock Slide, but this is a pretty terrible scenario. Let me know what you think of FROSLASS. I really enjoyed using it as a safe swap and kind of a more interesting team that doesn't have a Azumarill on it. So shout out to everyone in the comments there. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.